tonight. Some good news for you guys for Tyree Wilson being off the PUP list. What are your expectations? Just let it fly here in the first day, and is that
No,
how
we
it works?
definitely won't let it fly. He's progressing the way we thought he would, and so now it's time to kind of take the next step here and get him on the field, get him in his pads, start working towards the ability to be in team drills and all the rest of that stuff. So, we'll try to take it at the right pace here as we go.
Well, players usually coming off an injury like that, what's typically the biggest adjustment they have to make just in terms of ramping up on the field?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had his pads on and, contact and, felt a 320-pound guy leaning on you and all the rest of that stuff. And so it's just, he's gone through all the other phases so far, and now it's time to, begin the contact phase and, start to do the things that a defensive, player, edge player will do. So we're going to take the same approach we've been taking, which is, make sure that we keep checking off the box, and then we'll go to the next one. So today, hopefully, will be another step here in the right direction.
Josh, for you, when you come into these on the road, are you just working on getting how you want them to have a road approach? Just maybe working towards the season, because you don't really game plan for this at all.
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an element. I would say there's an element of preparation, though, that goes into this, because you can't just send them out there and have no idea what the differences are between our team, which they've practiced against for a number of days, San Francisco, who is a completely different style, and now this team, which will be a different style from San Francisco. So we've spent a little time just talking about what the differences are. We're trying to familiarize themselves with the players that they're going to be going up against. This, to me, this is you're killing a lot of birds with one stone here, where some team unity, bonding, we're together in a hotel, have an opportunity to really spend quality time together with one another outside of football. And at the same time, we're kind of getting ready for the regular season in terms of our mindset of learning an opponent. What do they do? What are their strengths and weaknesses? How is their scheme different? Starting to understand players a little bit more that you're going to be lining up against. So there's a lot of things that we get out of this. So far it's been great working with Sean and this group here. It's a first-class organization.
Josh, I know a couple guys have been banged up. Any updates on Michael Mayer or Hunter in terms of being out there today?
There was a number of guys that didn't make the trip with us because they're kind of, in that process of going through the rehabilitation so that they can return here soon. Michael and Hunter are two that are here with us that are actually working back in. I think you'll see them a little bit today working back in and doing some things. Again, we're just trying to take every guy, the right steps with each guy so that we can get them back healthy and ready to go here when they're ready to go.
Years past joint practices were something you maybe did once, sometimes not at all. This year, obviously, you're doing it a couple of times to a couple of different teams. Is that something you'd like to continue in the future?
I think every year is different. Kind of it has to fit relative to who your preseason opponents are. Do they want to do it? Does the venue accommodate such activity? Ours obviously does in Vegas. This has been a good setup here for us in LA. So I think each year is different. We'll look at it as we go. But I think this is a great opportunity for us to challenge your football team, along with hitting a lot of the things I just mentioned with Hondo. Get a lot of things done in a short period of time here. And with some of the restrictions you have now, time-wise, this is as productive as we can be.
Josh, has there been some people maybe that were on the bubble that, because of performance in the game or practices, that maybe earn more reps so you can get more looks at?
We haven't even discussed a bubble, or anything like that. But I think this is just more, everybody's going to get opportunities, continue to do such. Eventually that may change a little bit or get tapered one way or the other, but right now everybody's got an opportunity to compete. I think that evaluation is ongoing every day at every position, so you'll see everybody out here participating.
Obviously,
Go ahead.
whenever you have joint practices, the subject of fights comes up. And last week, it didn't seem like there were much of any fights at all. I imagine you're probably pleased about that. But what do you think that What do you think the reason for that is? Is it a message you put out? Is it something else?
I mean, that's not what we're here to do. So, we know it hurts the team when you do it in a game. Losing players in the middle of a game because, we're going to get involved in extracurricular activity after plays and all the rest of it doesn't help our football team win. And last week both teams did a good job of understanding what we wanted to try to get out of it. Sean and I are on the same page on this, in terms of what we're trying to get done here. None of it involves fighting, so, to me it's a waste of time, to come out here, and that's not toughness. That's not, that's not football. So we're here to work. We're here to try to improve our football team. I think that's what they're here to do. And hopefully we do it the right way. I was proud of the way our team competed last week and did the right things, and I expect the same thing today.
Are there things you want to see this week, like taking off from last week's practices with the Niners, things you want to kind of jump off from that point and kind of see improvement on?
Yeah, I'd say everything we'd like to try to improve on. There were some things we did, better last week, but also I'd say there's plenty of opportunities for us to make progress. We'll probably see a little bit of a different tempo here from their offense. Sean likes to, kind of push the tempo a little bit, so our defense is going to probably get challenged a little bit differently here. We'll see how that goes. Offensively, we're going to see different defensive structures than we did last week. So a lot to be gained here from, the competition against a different opponent.
I know we'll see it when it comes out, but has there been changes on the depth chart?
I don't know. Will makes the depth chart, so I don't really know.
No
Will and Tom, no changes. I don't know. No changes.
What's the status of Devante Adams? Will he be getting any reps out here this week?
Yeah, he'll be here.
Back 100%? Or is he limited in terms of what he can do?
He'll be out here ready to roll.
Coach, with all the new young guys out there on defense, flying around, picking off the ball, getting out there, stripping the ball, getting those fumbles recovered, how excited are you about that, and how do you feel about these young guys on the field?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we played with good effort, I think, most of the time last week. There was definitely some cases where we could improve that, but until you're playing with great effort with 11 guys on every snap on defense, it's hard to create a lot of turnovers because you're not near the ball enough. So in order for us to close the windows, get to the ball carrier, try to create opportunities for us to disrupt the other team in that regard, you got to play with effort first. So we'll see if we can even take a step forward here this week.
You guys all set?
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Good to go.
Thanks.